Let's go! Let's go, Chicago. The Bears blow out the Browns 31-3 at home at Soldier Field, baby, in a cold-ass game. The Bears moved to 10-4, man. Bears fans, how does it feel, man, to have a team that has a 10-win Bear team? I mean, look, I know that 10 wins might not be a lot to a lot of teams. To see them win a game like that is amazing. Or to see them win a game like that, to be the superior team and blow them out of the water when they're supposed to, especially leading up to a game to the Packer game Saturday, is amazing. To get to 10 wins on Ben Johnson's first year as a coach, first year as the head coach, Caleb's second year, it just feels like everything is finally coming together for the Bears, and it's an amazing feeling for a Bears. All my Bears fans, drop a bear down in the comments, man, if you feel how I'm feeling right now. Caleb was 17 for 28, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shador was 15 for 30 with 156 yards and 3 interceptions. What kind of game was it leading up to this? I really felt like this was the kind of game, like a lot of people were calling it a trap game, especially a lot of Chicago Bears media. I really felt like it kind of felt like that. Like, I don't really know, like, I don't like the term trap game. Like, I feel like every game in the NFL, you can lose. I mean, the margin as far as talent wise is it's very small. Coaching really matters, but I just feel like trap game wasn't the word. It was more of like, let's not overlook them. And I mean, I guess you can call it a trap game, but I didn't want us to overlook them, because this was a game you couldn't lose, because it was like, we're going into Green Bay, or Green Bay's coming to us again. Like, we have another huge game against Green Bay in 6 days. So it was like, you didn't want to lose this game, and you didn't want to just assume. You could psychologically, as a fan, you're like, you don't want to assume that the Broncos are going to beat the Packers. And if the Bears lost to the Browns and the Packers won, then it makes it to where we can't control our destiny the rest of the way through. So the fact that we took care of this game was a big deal, and it was a statement, another type of statement, when, like, we're the superior team. We are a superior team. We're one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the NFL. So to come out and just blow them out the way we did was huge. And I felt like I said, leading up to the game, it was a very you kind of got anxious, like, we cannot lose this game. It was just like, you cannot lose this game. If we're a good team, going to be a great team, like, we cannot lose this game. All right, let's get into what actually happened. The 3 key offensive plays. So the first play was Swift's touchdown off of Duvernay's punt return. It was in the first quarter, and so this was the second time that Duvernay had gave us good field position, and the Bears capitalized on it. The first one we didn't capitalize on, and that was the opening kickoff. And I was like, man, we can't just get a field goal off of this. We got to come out and show that we're the dominant team. We can't allow the Browns to hang around. So I think Ben ended up leaning towards the run a little bit more on that second drive of the game, and we really needed that to just calm the crowd down. Like, I needed that for myself. Like, because if we would have came out with a field goal or no points, then it would have started to feel like, are we not? Like, are we going backwards now? Are we not the superior team? So I felt like we answered the way we were supposed to and cashed in the way we were supposed to off that Duvernay punt return. And Swift capped it off with a touchdown. And he was running really hard, and he just was juiced up. He was charged up. You can see it in the way he was running, and especially in the first half. Ben Johnson did a really well calling the outside, like the tosses and the outside zones for Swift, and just letting him do his thing in open space. So yeah, to see Swift answer on that second drive was huge. All right, the second key offensive play was the throw to, I think it was like a 3-yard touchdown from Caleb to DJ. And it was the third drive of the game, and I believe it was, man, that drive Caleb started cooking, man. I mean, he was very accurate, and he was throwing with some confidence, and it just felt like the Ben started scheming guys open again, and Caleb was just hitting the guys. And we marched down the field pretty much on like 3-4 plays, and it was like all throwing. It was more throwing plays that drive than it was running. And to see Caleb and the offense get confidence early was really huge for us, I felt, especially in the few weeks, these past 3 weeks, it's felt like the offense has gotten off. Caleb and the offense have gotten off to a slow start. Yeah, it's the Browns, but it's still good to see, especially going into the game next week against the Packers, to see the offense get going early. So yeah, the offense marched down the field, and then Caleb threw a beautiful pass, 3-yard touchdown to DJ Moore to cap off the drive. The third key offensive play was the 20-yard throw to DJ Moore. It was in the third quarter, and it was after the DeMarco Jackson interception, which was huge because I think it was 14-3 at that time, and the Browns had just scored a field goal. So it was like the Browns had a chance to kind of make it a game if they were to score a touchdown on that drive. Even if they were to score if they were to score a field goal on that drive, they would have made it a one possession game. So for DeMarco Jackson to get that pick was huge. And then the very next play, Caleb threw kind of like across his body. It wasn't like fully across the field, but it was like across the field enough where it could have got picked off. But luckily DJ Moore was able to corral it. And I would say this, like Caleb did throw it in a decent spot. I'm not advocating for him to throw that ball ever again, but he threw it like high enough for DJ Moore to make a play on it, I would say. But this is one of those learning lessons, I would say. Like, I know Ben's gonna come, like I know Ben Johnson's gonna go in that film room with Caleb and be like, we can't do this, even though it was a touchdown. We cannot be doing this, because another team, the high elite teams with better talent and better corners and better safeties, they would have picked that ball off most likely. So we just can't put the ball in harm's way like that. But luckily we got away with it on that time. And it was huge for DJ Moore to have. That was his second touchdown of the game. And it was huge for him to have the game that he had, especially with Rome going down, and he had re-aggravated his stress fracture in his foot during pregame. So that's something to look at too, to kind of look at through the week, and hopefully, I mean, he might be out for 3 weeks. So DJ Moore is going to have to step up, and I feel like this was a good redemption game for him, because there were some rumbles after that Packers game where he had one catch for -4 yards, and there were starting to be questions in the media, like, what's going on? Like, why isn't he as involved this year as he's been in past years? I hadn't put too much weight on it. I just felt like it's the first year of Ben Johnson's system. So, I mean, mostly everyone was getting work except for DJ. And I just think sometimes it just is like that with different regimes where different calls are coming in, different offensive schemes are coming in, and sometimes there's just an odd man out. And DJ Moore has been that guy that's been the odd man out this year. So, you know, it's one of those things where I wasn't like too heavy on it, but at the same time, with the money you're paying him and with Rome being out last week, it was like, where was DJ at last week? So it was cool to see him step up this week as our wide receiver one, because we're going to need him, because I think Rome's going to be out for the next few weeks, probably until the playoffs, honestly, especially with him re-aggravating that foot. So we'll see. Shout out DJ Moore though. All right, let's get into the 3 key defensive plays. The first one, the Bears defense, them setting the tone early was huge, and their run defense, I felt like, really helped out with that. There was like, I don't know, the Browns, it was some crazy stat like going into the second quarter where the Browns ran like 9 plays and the Bears had like 11 first downs. So I think the Bears' run defense had a lot to do with that. I seen the Browns trying to establish the run game early, but I think they had like negative yardage damn near going into the first half or the second half. So Bears letting Shador in the offense know, like, you're not about to come in here and do what you did last week versus the Titans. This is not that. And that's huge for us because we have given up a lot of yardage this year, but we've been off and on with the run. It's like we in the beginning of the year, we were pretty bad. And then like we had a good stint of not letting people run all over us. And then we got to like the third part of the year where we started letting people run on us again. So our run defense shored up a lot. And Junkins isn't a bad running back. Isn't a bad running back. So it was good to see them slow the run game down. And I just think that made the Browns have to pass. And Shador is probably not obviously it's his fourth start. So he's not where he's at, where he needs to be. And I think Dennis Allen took advantage of that. And yeah, we were able to put a goose egg. I think they didn't have any points in the first half, so that was huge. The second key defensive play for me was the DeMarco Jackson third quarter interception. I felt like that was a huge play because the Browns were, it was 14-3. They had just scored, and I think that they had just scored a field goal, the Browns. And then on the ensuing Bears drive, I think we might have went 3 and out. I can't remember. But then when the Browns got the ball back, they could have scored. It was 14-3, so they could have scored a touchdown and made it a game easily. They could have scored a field goal on that drive and made it a game easily. And it could have been a one-possession game. So for DeMarco Jackson to step up on that play and get an interception was huge. And it was a awesome play too. Like he like tipped it and then caught it off his own tip, which was nice. And I think Shador was trying to feed the ball to his rookie tight end. Obviously he likes that guy a lot. You can see that. And yeah, the Bears just took advantage of it, man. And then obviously after that play, that's when Caleb threw to DJ for that 20-yard touchdown. So it made it 21-3. That was pretty much game. The third key defensive play was the Jalen Johnson interception. And I would even say that was a pretty big interception too, because I would say it was more impactful for Jalen and his confidence coming back, because he had got burnt a couple times this game, and then he had a bad game last game too against the Packers, and I can tell that quad injury is really messing with him. He really doesn't look like the same Jalen Johnson right now, and I think that he's just trying to push through this injury and just make his presence felt on this defense, especially with us playing as good as we've been playing this year as far as the takeaways go. And I think he just wanted to come back and join in on the fun, basically, like, and make an impact on the defense. And I think that it's hurt us at times, and it's also helped. I wouldn't say it's helped, but it's hurt us more than it's helped, at least right now. And obviously this is his first year under Dennis Allen. Like I said, he's coming off a quad muscles like surgery. So for a corner, that's got to be really ailing for him, and especially in that cold. So he had just got burnt the play before though, and then to see him pick the ball off the way he did, I think it was like Shador, and it was on the goal line. Shador had threw like a dot to Jerry Jeudy, and Jerry Jeudy didn't catch it. And I think that it was like Jalen Johnson didn't strip the ball away, but it was more like he just caught, like, Jerry Jeudy, like, it deflected off his body, and Jalen Johnson was able to corral it in, which was huge, because that could have made the game, that could have made it kind of a game too, because it would have been 21-10. But again, it made it to where Jalen Johnson, or it made it to where the Bears got the ball back 21-3, and then we went down to score again. So that was like another dagger. That was like the official dagger, you can say. But yeah, that was a huge play, and I would say it was huge for Jalen's confidence too. And let me get into my little rant about Jerry Jeudy real quick, bruh. You gonna be talking boy, you gonna be talking all that shit on the sideline to Shador, but then when he throw you a perfect pass on the goal line to keep the game close, relatively close, it was right in the breadbasket, bro. Like, he couldn't have put it a perfect back shoulder throw. He couldn't have put it any better, placed it any better. He couldn't have gave it to you any better. So you gonna talk all that shit and yell at him on the sideline, but then when he throw you a perfect ball, you can't even do your job. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. For real, man. Help the man out. For real. Especially if you're going to be yelling at him. All right, let's get into some storylines, man. I thought Caleb's accuracy was a lot better this game. I think that that was a good sign of growth. Hopefully it could keep on an upward trajectory from here on out, from this game out, because his accuracy has been a thing. It's been a problem all year. And even last year, it was a problem. His long ball accuracy was more of a problem than his short and mid ball accuracies last year. But his short game, his short ball and his medium throws he's been throwing, his accuracy has been off a lot. And he's really only had like one bad throw that one, maybe two, maybe the one to Alameda Zacchaeus, but other than that, he was on target all game, and that was a beautiful thing to see, because if he can do that, if his balls can be accurate, Ben Johnson schemes guys open for the most part. Like, you know, like it seems like Ben Johnson has be having guys open. So Caleb, if he could just catch guys in rhythm, if he can just stay accurate like he did today, the offense will be very, very dangerous. It'll keep drives going. It'll keep the chains moving, and it'll really separate not only Caleb from being a top 10 quarterback in the league, but it'll also separate us as a team and give our offense that next step that we need to be able to compete in the playoffs and against other elite teams. So yeah, shout out to Caleb today, man. His accuracy definitely showed. Man, shout out to the Bears, man, and the 30 takeaways, the cornerbacks. Oh my God, the whole defense, man. Even the linebackers are taking balls away, bro. Like Al Harris, Dennis Allen, man, they really got these guys balling the fuck out, bro. Like, this defense, we're number one in the league with 30 takeaways. Like, they had a stat that said that I think we had the most takeaways in the NFL since, I wasn't sure if it was for Bears or just like in NFL history, since the 85 Bears. So this is it's really a sight to see, man, to be able to see the defense taking the ball away and then our offense able to cash in on those takeaways. Just shout out to the defense, man. And shout out to CJ too, man. He's been a huge impact, man. Like, he got another pick today, his second in as many weeks. So CJ's been a huge impact, man. He's been a godsend, because without him, Kyler Gordon was out. So I don't know what we would have been doing at the nickel position, but man, shout out to CJ GJ. Shout out to Al Harris, Dennis Allen. 30 takeaways is unbelievable. It's our identity. Guys have a nose for the ball. They're hungry for the ball. So yeah, man, I got to say, shout out to that defense, man. I want to give a huge shout out to the Bears backup linebackers. They're still playing at a high elite level, man. I mean, it's almost like they've been playing better than when Tremaine and TJ were in at the same time. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, DeMarco Jackson has made a name for himself, man. I mean, they all go out. Basically, all the linebackers are out against Pittsburgh, and all three of those dudes step up. DeMarco Jackson, Ruben Hippolyte, and Amen. I'm messed up. I'm not even gonna try his name, but these guys have stepped up and played at an elite level. I mean, you talk about next man up and taking advantage of your opportunities. These three guys literally just in these few weeks that they've been playing, they've locked in like another contract for them. Like, not even just with the Bears, but just in general in the NFL, man. They've been balling out, and DeMarco Jackson is getting more playing time with Tremaine Edmonds out, taking advantage of the opportunity, getting an interception. a game sealing interception. They're flying the flying everywhere, getting 15, 14 tackles. I mean, that was like the Steelers game, but you get the point. Like those dudes, man, just balling, man. They're everywhere. They didn't miss a beat when Tremaine Edmonds and T.J. Edwards went out, man. Shout out to the backup linebackers, man, for real. All right, let's get into players that impressed, man. I gotta give a shout out to Devin Duvernay, man. What? This dude has been balling all year on special teams. He should get a Pro Bowl nod if you ask me. Not only did he help with the field position this game, he's also a decent receiver. Like he's like last game he had caught a pivotal catch, a nice throw in the last drive of the Packers game, and then he caught a nice third down catch to keep the drive going. This game kept his foot in bounds, caught the ball. He's a solid receiver too. Like even though he doesn't get much tick on that point, but yeah, man, for him to the opening kickoff, he ran the ball to midfield, and then the next kickoff, the next punt return opportunity he got like 20 yards and got us basically to the opponent's 40-yard line. And then another thing that I love about him, and which I've said before, is he has great awareness of when to let the ball go and not fair catch it, and then he has great awareness to fair catch it. And you never question on whether he's going to muff the punt or whether he's going to make a bad decision and fair catch it at like the 5-yard line or the 10-yard line. He always makes the right decision. He makes sure everyone is cleared out the way when the ball's like near everybody or near like the gunners. So yeah, man, I gotta give my flowers out to Duvernay, man, for real. Like, shout out to Duvernay. He deserves his flowers, for real. I want to give a special shout out to Tory Taylor. I think that he's really come along this year, honestly. I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but I feel like his punts in the past, like, 10 weeks, since, like, probably, like, week 5 or 6, I feel like he's finally coming along. Like, I don't know if he's 4th round pick worthy, or I don't know. Like, picking a punter in the 4th round is kind of wild. But he's really had some nice punts. I mean, even the one that flipped, it was the story of the game, honestly, especially in the first half. He flipped the field on the Browns for his first punt of the game. And Blackwell, another great special teamer, swatted the ball at the 1-yard line to keep it out of the end zone for a touchback. And it was just Tory Taylor has gotten a lot of those this year, man. He's kicked a lot of punts inside the 10, inside the 20. He hasn't really shanked any. I think he's done a great job. I would say he's done a really nice job, especially since like week 4, man. Shout out to Tory Taylor for finally coming along, man. That 4th round pick starting to kind of pay off a little bit. Let's do some homework, man. What the Bears must fix before next week. We gotta get certain decisions and moments together, man. Like certain things that hold us back. Specifically, when we had a chance to go up 21-0, that was, and then it was like a 1st and goal or like a first down on like the 14-yard line, and then we did like a reverse to Colston Loveland, which brung us back a little bit. It was like a 3-yard loss, and then we get the sack, and it makes it a harder field goal, like a 35-yard field goal for Cairo Santos. With those certain situations like that, man, we gotta, especially against the Packers coming up, we gotta come out with points on that drive. Ideally we want to come out with touchdowns, but minimum we want to come out with field goals, and we don't want to put ourselves in a tough position. I felt like Ben's play calling right there kind of put us in a tough position to score points. Now keep like Cairo Santos does have to make that field goal. He does. But with that being said, man, that was kind of a tough position that we put ourselves in. I felt like we shot ourselves in the foot on that drive, and it kind of let the Browns stick around longer than they needed to. I didn't really like that. So we got to clean that up a little bit, because against elite teams, not only will teams stick around, they will make it a game. They'll come back. So luckily the Browns suck. So we were able to keep separating from them throughout the game. But yeah, we can't allow stuff like that to happen. Also, the 3-and-1 call, the 3rd-and-1 call on the 2-minute drive. Again, we can't let that stuff happen against good teams, especially in the playoffs. Like, it was 3rd-and-1 and Caleb dropped back and it was an incomplete pass basically with like 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. And it allowed for the Browns to have a chance to score before half, and they got the ball in at half. So my thing is like, okay, I get we're trying to score, but we had 3 timeouts. Just run the ball to get the first down. If we don't get the first down, at least we waste one of the Browns timeouts. But instead, and who knows, they might just let it run down. You never know with coaching. So I didn't like Ben Johnson being ultra aggressive there and trying to throw the ball on 3rd-and-1 in that situation. But luckily, again, it didn't come to bite us in the butt, but it could have. And against good teams, it will. So we gotta clean that up as well. All right, man. My final thoughts. Final thoughts on today's game. Overall, I'm ecstatic, man. Like, it is amazing to watch. Turned to my wife and I looked at her and I was just like, it feels so good to watch a good Bears team. Like, and she was like, but we're playing against the Browns. And I was just like, yeah, but we're doing what we're supposed to do against them. We were up like 14-0 at that time. And it just seemed like everything was easy. Like, we seemed like the dominant team, kind of like how the Lions started to look in their second year. And it just felt good to know that we were going to win this game. You know, like, I knew we were going to win that game in the first quarter. And that felt so good. I hadn't felt like that laxed in a game in forever, in a long time as a Bears fan. And it was like, looking at this game, I'm like, we should win this game. Like, and that's what it felt like. It felt great to dominate a bad team, you know? So we got the Packers coming up this week, actually, a Saturday. So, you know, this is going to be a huge game again. Hopefully the Packers can lose against the Broncos and we'll get jumped back in the North, but it's going to be a huge game. I'm ready for it, man. Bear down. Shout out to Myles Garrett too, man. I wanted to give a huge shout out to Myles Garrett, man. He's got, I think, 21 and a half sacks now, and he's future Hall of Famer. He's probably gonna break that sack record. Dude is just a baller, bro. I mean, it sucks that he's on the Browns, but at least they have something to cheer for. This dude is like, I don't know what the analogy would be, but it's like putting I don't know. I don't even know what the analogy would be, but like, let me know in the comments what a good analogy is for Myles Garrett on the Browns. But this dude is amazing, and he is 1 sack. I think he's a sack and a half away from getting the record. And shout out to him, man. I want to give my flowers to Myles Garrett, man, for sure. All right, that'll wrap the show for this week, guys. Hope y'all had a great Sunday. And happy holidays, man. Happy holidays to everybody. And, you know, let's go, man. Let's go. We got to get riled up for this game against the Packers, man. We got to win this game. If we win this game, I think we might hear some Super Bowl talks. Let's do it, man. I think we can do it. So let's chill. Wait till Saturday. Have a happy Saturday. Have a happy Sunday today. Bear down.